Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. The season's done, it's over, there's peace on all fronts. I finished with a respectable rank of 2070, I think it was, somewhere around there. Let me have a look, double check. 2087, so not bad. Not bad. It's my best rank so far. I'm happy with it. Alright, so we move on. It's finals time. It's time to get ourselves into the game again. It doesn't stop here, guys. It doesn't stop here. We're degenerate super coaches and we're here for the final series. It's about time that they brought this content back. It's about time they brought this competition back. So I'm going to be going through what I think is the best options per position, and I'm just going to slowly just reveal my side as we go through, because I've got my side. I'm 99% nailed on the side that I've got, so if you stick through you'll see what the side looks like at the end. Righto, so let's have a look at hookers. Right, so we obviously know the game. We obviously know the matchups this week. So the matchups this week, we've got the Panthers and the Warriors. We've got the Sharks and the Roosters. We've got Raiders and Broncos. We've got Melbourne and the Bulldogs. Great matches. At hooker, there's obviously, you've got the likes of Brayley, the likes of Grant, the likes of Connor Watson, if he starts. Tom Starling. Like, a lot of these players here are genuine options. There's no really massive standout outside of my two best options would be Grant and Brayley. I think based on matchups, I think Brayley would be the best option. Very close second to Harry. Like, it comes down to literal preference. I think you can't go wrong with either. I'm personally going to start with Brayley. I'm just gonna aim for that matchup. I think he's got a better matchup. I think the Bulldogs will look a lot better defensively in this game compared to what they were on the weekend. And I think the Sharks and the Roosters game is going to be a lot more high scoring. So I think Brayley's the better option there. Righto. Moving on to our front row. I think that there is a clear out and out spot here that every single person is going to target, and it's got to be Payne. I think if you look across the board, you could chase a pod play with some upside in maybe like a Fanua Blake, maybe a Lindsay Smith. Like, a Lindsay Smith could score a try and ton up. He's the same as Haas though. Like, it's very, very difficult to go against Payne in this position unless you want to go Payne down at the flex spot. And if you want to do that, which I don't mind, you could go like an AFB or a Tarpany or like a Carrigan or a Lindsay Smith or someone there that can kind of match Payne Haas a little bit. But for me, I'm going to go with Payne. I think he is obviously the out and out best option. Second row, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting because there are quite a few really good options here for second row. Obviously, you've got the top dogs like Katoa, Hudson Young, Clark, Carrigan, Preston, Kickow, these guys. But I think when it comes down to this format, you really want to chase matchups. And I think when it comes to matchups, you want to try and look at people who have the better matchup, right? I feel like I'm repeating myself, but you really try and nail this home. The likes of Britton Nickera, the likes of Isaiah Yeo, the likes of And Aaron Clark even, like Hudson Young against the Broncos, he could score a try, but Hudson Young hasn't really looked amazing at the moment. I think he's still dealing with that injury. Katoa, without Hughes, I think Katoa's upside cops it a little bit. So I'm not quite sure. Like, I'm not 100% set on who my 2RF is, but if I was to lean in the direction, I would be going with Hudson Young. I think Hudson Young at home, GIS Stadium, against the Broncos, off a week's rest, I think Hudson will do enough. I think he can definitely score a try, and I think there's definitely a ton in there for Hudson Young. He's very much due a try, so I'm going to be going Hudson Young, but I do have a little bit of doubt. I do like Nikora. I do like Angus against the Sharks. I think Angus could be in for a huge game against the Sharks. I do like Yo for like a safe 70 to 90, 70 to 80 against the Warriors. Really don't mind that. Outside of that, the 2RF spot this year has just been very, very meh. And I think the guys that I've mentioned so far, I think they're the ones that you want to be looking at. Righto, moving on. Halfback. Now, I think that there is obviously the clear out-and-out choice here with the Prince. I think Cleary against the Warriors I don't think that there is a close second when it comes to picking your halfback for this week's matchup. I think Cleary has to be in your side. I think it's a no-brainer. To be honest with you, maybe the second option, you could go Sam Walker against the Sharks. Maybe. Outside of that, I think it's a wasteland. I really do for halfback for the matchups this week. I don't like anyone else outside of Cleary and Sam Walker. If you want to go for a pod, I think Sam Walker could go well, but I think Panthers are going to really put it on the Warriors this week. So that's my choice there. 5'8" is actually tough, to be honest with you. Like, outside of Munster, like, you could go like a sneaky pod with Strange against the Broncos. I don't mind it. Yeah, like, you could. There's really not much going on. Like, Munster, Ethan Strange. The rest is very meh. Very, very. There's nothing, guys. There really is nothing going on here. So, in my opinion, I'm going to be going Munster against the Bulldogs. I think without Hughes, Munster is obviously going to see a lot of the ball. But Ethan Strange is definitely someone to be looking at if you want to pod against Munster at home against the Dogs. Because it feels like the Dogs are on a little bit of a... They look a little bit deflated. But like I said earlier, the Dogs will probably turn up for this game. I think last week's performance against the Sharks was just diabolical. Like, they're going to bounce back from that. They're not as bad as how they've been playing over the last couple of weeks. Righto, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. Now, centre wing. There are a lot of great options this week. Now, I have a few in mind. I am a little bit settled on one, but I think that there is definite cause to discuss the likes of Iro against the Roosters, the likes of Marky Mark against the Sharks. He could definitely ton up again. He seems to be on fire at the moment, scoring for fun. Stags against the Raiders. He could go massive. Coates against the Dogs. Casey McLean. Spoiler alert. Casey McLean is actually probably the guy that I'm going to be running with. The Panthers just absolutely love hammering that left. And I think Casey McLean has showed that game ever since that game against the Dogs where he showed Critter up, he has just turned into an absolute gun. He's getting a lot of ball, and I think he has the best matchup. I think he's got the best matchup going into this week out of any centre CT dub. I think Mulatalo is another good shout against the Roosters. I don't mind that, but just be wary. Mulatalo can easily be shut down. His base and his attack has absolutely gone through the roof as of late. I think he's averaging, he'd be close to averaging 100 over the last few weeks. I don't mind Mulatalo. I don't mind, Brian against the Warriors. Like, Brian coming off a rest, he's going to be looking for a lot of ball that game. And I think if Penrith can put Warriors to the sword, which I think they can, I think Brian is a good shout. But I am still going to sit on Casey McLean. I still think he is the better option given how predominant Panthers are going left. Outside of that, there's not much going on. Really, there's not. Like, if you want to go for some pod players like a Ramian or like even like a Tom Jenkins against the Warriors, he could ton up. But for me, I'm going to go with Casey McLean. I think Casey McLean will do a job for me this week. Fullback. I think that there is a clear out-and-out option this week, given matchups, and you've got to go Teddy. I think, given the other matchups, like Walsh against the Raiders, Pappenhausen against the Dogs, Kennedy against the Sharks, a lot of these fullbacks don't scream pick me. Normally, I would say Reece Walsh, right? Given the form that he's in. But I think Canberra are going to defend very well. So for me, I can't see Walsh scoring his 40 points in goal kicks. I can't see Walsh getting 2 tries and 4 try assists and 5 line breaks and all the other all the other crazy stuff that he gets over the last few weeks. I can't see him doing that against the Canberra Raiders. So for me, I think you have to go with the proven out-and-out gun that's James Tedesco. So Teddy's going to be me. Edwards against the Warriors. Like, Edwards looked shit on the weekend against the Dragons. I don't know if that was a plan by Ivan. Maybe he just told Edwards to back off and not participate in any of the attack. That could have been one thing. We don't know. But Edwards did not impress me at all on the weekend against the Dragons. Coming off a rest as well, I thought for sure he was in for a massive score, but it just wasn't to be. So outside of that, guys, like I think just go with Teddy. Go with the proven gun there. Righto, flex is interesting. All right, now flex for me, you kind of want someone who, it's like anything. Like you want someone who you think is going to be a safe, good score. Now, if you want a safe, good score, you want to try and look at players that have got like a tough battle, but their base is going to be very good. Now, you also could go the other way and go upside, and you could put Sam Walker down at your flex. Or you could put a Tarpany at your flex and hope that he just gets a safe 70 to 80, 60, 70, 80. Especially off a rest, I reckon he's going to play some big minutes. Or you could just go for upside. Like, you could go for players like Coates against the Dogs, who will he probably scores very well. He probably scores a couple of tries against the Dogs. We don't know. You could go with like a Fanua Blake against the Roosters. He scores a try, he tons up. Like, there's a lot of very, very good options down at the flex that you can target. For me, I'm still very unsure. Like, I'm very, very unsure about who I want at my flex. I've thought about Walsh. I've thought about Nico Hines against the Sharks. I've thought about Sam Walker against the Sharks. I've thought about Katoa against the Dogs, but no Hughes. It's a little bit up in the air there. Marky Mark. You know, these players are all good shouts. Preston against the Dogs. Against the Storm. You know, God, there's so many. Right now, for me, I'm leaning towards Sam Walker. I think with Sam Walker, there's going to be a lot of points in this game. And I feel like Sam Walker is going to be on. And I'm just leaning towards Sam Walker at my flex. It's going to be an interesting one. That's the only one that I'm going to be set on, that I'm just unsure about. I'll end up posting my final kind of team reveal just before kickoff of the first game. But right now, for me, I'm going to go Sam Walker. So there's a chance it'll change, guys. So we'll just see what happens, right? Anyway, that's how the side looks. I'm pretty happy with it. Like, I think I'll go Captain Payne. Great matchup. At home. Not at home. At GIO. It's going to be an absolute battle through the middle there. Two of the best forward packs in the game. It's going to be an unreal game to watch when it comes to the battle of the forwards there, and I think Payne's going to really step up there. So, look, I say Payne Haas now, but it's going to be between Haas and Cleary. I think chasing upside, you've got to go Cleary. Taking that safety route and going with Payne Haas, yeah. So, look, right now, after I just looked at it for the 100th time, I think I'm going to go Cleary. I think I'm going to chase the upside. I think I'm going to go Cleary against the Warriors. I think the Panthers put it on them, and that's how I'm going to look. And I mean, look, the VC, like, how does it even work? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to drop a player at your flex to a non-playing player in the final series to loop? I think looping is going to be an absolute nightmare to do this final series, but yeah. See how that plays out. Don't know how that's going to happen. So yeah, anyway, righto guys. That is my finals somewhat team reveal. As I said, flex is still up in the air. The rest of them I'm pretty happy with. Righto guys, thanks for tuning in. Let us know in the comments how you went this year, like what your rank was. Was it your best rank yet? What your team's looking like for the final series. And yeah, if you haven't already, sub up. Give it a like. It helps the channel. And yeah, thanks again for tuning in guys, and good luck with the finals series.